When Norman Maclean's A River Runs Through It was adapted for the screen, visiting tourists were disappointed to find a town devoid of Brad Pitt, lacking in the expected Blackfoot River, and full of maniacal locals who seemed to derive great glee from conniving outsiders. One such outsider may have driven up Snowball Road, and if they made it past Permafrost and Bartender's Corners, they would have been stopped at the parking lot. Those who stayed inevitably received core shots on the base of Spartan Headwall, condemning them to a lifetime of skiing at Snowball.
One thing that I really, really appreciate about Snowball is the simplicity of it. A lot of people grumble about how Snowball is run, and maybe some of that is justified. But I would much prefer to have it undermanaged than corporate and overmanaged or overbuilt or overpriced. Last year was a terrible year at Snowball. It was one of the worst years in a while. I still had a few great days. I mean, I had at least 3 great days. And those days, those are the standout days of winter. So the good days, they imprint on us in a way. They contribute to our spirits. We can reflect back on those, and I still get a good feeling thinking about that day. So there's a resonance that we get from great ski days that is so valuable to us as adventurous humans on this planet. And that all depends on snow. The universal thing with anything with skiing is the feeling of gliding across the ground. There's some deep pleasure that I think most of us feel when we feel that sensation. It does something to our nervous system, and our neurochemicals start flowing. So there's definitely like a unifying love of the glide. And snow it's a finite resource, and that impermanence adds something. When you get that big powder day, there's an excitement that goes with that. I never jump out of bed in life the way I do on a powder day any other time. It's like, we're going, it's you get into the clothes, you get up there, and it can get a little intense. It does make me long for the backcountry sometimes when you get up there and there's like 500 other like amped powder hounds, and you're that can get a little overwhelming. But there's good reason, and once you're skiing, all that kind of lift line craziness fades, and the feeling of flowing downhill through deep fresh snow, it is one of the most glorious physical sensations that I have ever felt.
As winter inversion settles over town, as friends graduate high school and move away, as long-held ties stratify in delta, I find myself skiing often. Atop the snow, carving through the vicious moguls of whipped cream, or careening off of stump jumps on purgatory. Any feeling of disconnection from my community is remedied. For one powder day, our individual bodies of water converge. Here is the confluence of community, the meeting place of a social watershed. The times in this place will keep changing. The mercantile on Higgins got torn down a few years back, and Norman McLean lives on only in memory. But in this valley of converging rivers, stories and water cycle alike.